Hi, my name is Dagan Lowe. I'm a music director at Semiahmoo Secondary, which is a school just south of Vancouver, BC, and we're down here for a cultural music tour and had a great time here. Some of the highlights here, I would say for sure would be the exchanges we had with young people. So we performed at a high school, and at that high school we were performing and we invited the students from the high school to perform with our students, and it was really neat to see them interacting through music. Though they didn't speak the same language, they speak the same language of music together. So that was a highlight. We also went to a couple cultural centers where we saw students that really didn't have very much, but they gave so much of themselves through their music, and that really meant a lot. It meant a lot to us, and we could see it really meant a lot to the students. I think the other thing that was a highlight was just seeing the students learn so much about a culture that is very different from Canadian culture and gain a better respect for people in this world beyond Canada.
My name is Angelina. I'm from Semiahmoo Secondary, British Columbia, Canada, and I'm here for a band trip to perform for Cubans. Well, I'm a trombone player, and I was just so inspired by so many young musicians that were learning how to solo at such young ages, and they're just brilliant. So it just inspired me to work harder.
Hi, my name is Nina. I'm from Vancouver, Canada, and we are here on a band trip to perform in Cuba. One of the biggest highlights would definitely be performing for other Cuban students and listening to them perform for us and exchange the music that we've been working on. It's really impressive to see how they learn music in school and compare it to how we learn music and just show what we've learned and show what they've learned. There's a lot to learn from them and a lot to learn from performing from them as well. Well, performing for other students and listening to them is definitely inspiring and offers a lot of new ideas for things that we can incorporate into our playing, especially learning more about Latin music. We don't really play or listen to much Latin at home, and so it gives you a lot of new ideas for stuff that you can incorporate in band and in combos for soloing and different things, expanding what you listen to so you can have more ideas when you're playing as well.
My name is J.B. Molly. I'm the Vice Principal at Semiahmoo Secondary School, located in Surrey, British Columbia, just south of Vancouver, BC. This trip has been the best trip that I've been on as a Vice Principal accompanying our school. We had over 109 students along with 12 chaperones accompany us, which is a very large trip. The first thing that comes to mind is just the interaction with our students and the Cuban students here in Cuba. The Cuban students welcomed us with open hearts. You could see how important music is a part of their values, a part of their lifestyle, and their Cuban identity. And it was great for our students to be able to see that and see that there's other students, same age as them, across the other side or across the different continent, with the same goals and aspirations, the same values, same hard work and ethic, where they make music a part of their own life as well.
We have learned.
My name is Liam Keitley-Kauser. I'm from British Columbia, Canada, and we're here for a school band trip to perform. Well, getting to go to the community center and meet all these kids who love what they do and play the music because they love it was always amazing to see, and really fun to dance with them and get to introduce ourselves, talk with them, see what they live day to day, and have fun. I play trombone, and as a trombonist, I mean, just being able to incorporate some of the Latin styles into my playing now, especially coming from a Venezuelan family, getting to learn another type of style in the Latin culture for music, it's amazing.
So coming to Cuba in a group is really special because you get to experience such a different culture with a lot of your closest friends, and so it makes it a lot more interesting, a lot more fun to experience. I definitely think coming to Cuba is a good idea because it's so different from back home, and you can learn so much about a completely other way of life than what we're used to, and you can kind of understand how many other people in the world live and appreciate more what we have back at home and appreciate some of the differences that are here, and maybe try and incorporate some of those into your life, like staying off your phone because there's no Wi-Fi, and just living more in the moment and enjoying the people around you.
Well, as an educator, obviously being in music, we wanted something where students would learn something new about music, possibly something that we didn't know about that they could learn. And so they've got a lot from learning about Afro-Cuban music, about Latin percussion, how dance is connected. To improve as musicians, I think, you know, it's very important that you broaden your musical perspective, and our school is very strong in jazz, a lot of swing music, but we don't do a lot of Latin music, and it really made a difference, I think, for them to understand the difference between like conga, salsa, montuno music, to understand different drum beats, clave rhythms, and that sort of thing. I think they're going to come back with excitement to play some new music.
So my name's Anthony Lavrov. I'm from Vancouver, Canada, and we are here on a band trip to perform in Havana and all around Cuba. As a drummer and percussionist, it's really nice to learn a bunch of new Afro-Cuban rhythms and all these Latin rhythms that you can incorporate in your playing, especially when you're trying to mix with a bunch of other rhythms. It's really cool and really nice to listen to.
This trip has been so well planned. I think as a school administrator, our student safety is most paramount. And I can assure you that this trip, for me, coming on this trip as an administrator, I can see how safe Cuba is. From the moment that we landed, our luggage, the tour company, to the transportation. The buses are extremely clean, very reliable. The staff has been extremely friendly. The Cuban people have been very warm and friendly wherever we've traveled. So I have no reservations about recommending this trip to anybody else that's thinking about planning a music trip to Cuba. I think they will leave inspired. They'll leave with the greatest memories that they could ever have and hope for. As educators, we want our students to have the most amazing experiences. And I can say that this trip to Cuba will stay with me forever, and I know it will stay with our students forever as well. So I highly, highly recommend it.
Of course, this was an amazing trip and a trip of a lifetime that I'll never forget.
Definitely, I do recommend. It is just so much fun. It's been a life-changing experience.